Zankyou no Terror stands out from most anime by not trying to stand out at all. Sure, there are big explosions and spectacles throughout the show, but unlike most anime, Zankyou no Terror deviates away from fantastical storytelling and world-ending calamities to deliver a mature narrative that grounds itself with plausible depictions of characters and government entities. However, grounded doesn't always equate to a character-focused adventure, as the show emphasizes a thematically focused story that provides a unique and realistic take on nationalism and society. Those tired of superheroes, secret society conspiracies, and saving the world over and over again should definitely give Zankyou no Terror a chance. But before that, let's quickly talk about the premise of the show. Zankyou no Terror begins with an attack on a nuclear facility in Japan. This attack leaves law enforcement baffled because the perpetrators left no demands or clues to follow. It's only until 6 months later that the police find their first clue, a strange video uploaded to the internet that features two teenage boys going by the moniker a Sphinx. In this video, Sphinx implies sparks and darkness enveloping the Shinjuku area. The following day, a government building is destroyed in an act of terror, with a similar calling card found at the scene of the nuclear facility 6 months prior. This obvious connection between Sphinx and the terror attacks leads to the police scrambling for clues as they place their undivided attention towards investigating the terrorists. As their investigation goes nowhere, the duo toys with the police by assigning them riddles to solve, with failure and foul play leading to more terrorist attacks. As the story progresses, more interested parties enter the fray, with Sphinx at the center of it all. As you probably guessed, Zankyou no Terror is a show filled with mystery thriller. Throughout the narrative, you'll be entertained by intense infiltration and heist missions, but what really keeps the story compelling is the constant barrage of questions you'll be asking each episode. What is Sphinx's motive? Where did they come from? Why are they doing this? And how is this dude and this bird connected to them? By the end of the show, you'll have your questions answered, but Zankyou no Terror does it in a way that is nicely grounded with reality. It masterfully connects government agencies into the mix, without featuring bloated conspiracies, corrupt law enforcement, and over-the-top criminal masterminds. Sure, there is a power fantasy present with the characters of the show, but their actions never felt fantastical, and really aids in giving the show a very natural, realistic feel. So, with that being said, let's talk about some of the characters of the show. Zankyou no Terror is not a character-driven show, but the core themes of the narrative are symbolically represented with the characters. Despite lacking in development, the characters depict a natural response to the crimes of their world that makes them feel believable and easy to empathize with. First, we have Sphinx, aka the duo of 9 and 12. Upon first glance, 9 seems like your typical edgelord anti-hero, while 12 seems like the good cop counterpart by acting like a goofy child at times. However, 9's edginess and 12's playfulness are simply masks to veil their pain, as we commonly see 9 break character with his compassion towards others, while 12 is more manipulative than he lets on. Regardless of differences, 9 and 12 are extremely intelligent individuals that share the same goal, and their personalities become more relatable to the viewer as backstories and motives are revealed. Next, we have Lisa, who is essentially the viewer, absolutely useless, and a terrible cook. However, Lisa adds a necessary level of relatability to the characters by juxtaposing her struggles with 9 and 12. Like a lot of backstories, Lisa is a disenfranchised high schooler that gets bullied in school while living in a home environment that provides the opposite of sanctuary. Many people will likely chastise Lisa for being meaningless or boring, but the show without Lisa loses its connection to the audience as her resonance with 9 and 12 hints at their isolated past and grief, while making the crazy terrorist shenanigans seem strangely reasonable in regards to their circumstances. Last, we have Shibazaki, who is a washed-up detective in the Tokyo Police Department. As one would expect, Shibazaki has a strong sense of justice that springs up during investigations, as he shifts from lazy and aloof to extremely sharp. However, Shibazaki's purpose is more than justice and problem-solving, as his character does a great job highlighting the complications of bureaucracy. Throughout the show, Shibazaki's pursuit of information is constantly at odds with his superiors, which leads to him being relegated in a way that isn't too dissimilar from 9, 12, and Lisa. Because of this, Shibazaki naturally forms a unique relationship with Sphinx that is predicated on mutual respect, and naturally progresses into an intense rivalry of wits. Overall, Zankyou no Terror's characters won't shock you with individual complexity or character development. Instead, the show excels with its depiction of believable characters that are nicely connected to each other via developing empathy, and as the show progresses, this connection naturally extends to the viewer. Despite airing back in 2014, the animation of Zankyou no Terror will easily surpass the quality of most animation seen today. With an emphasis on realism, the depiction of Tokyo will feel very natural to the viewer, as it's shown as a bustling metropolis filled with people. However, the animation style sets itself apart with an overall aesthetic and atmosphere that manages to evoke a sense of tranquility in the viewer, in spite of all the explosions, heists, and chase scenes you're consistently exposed to. Additionally, the music of the show adds a lot to the calm ambience of Zankyou no Terror, and just like the animation, a large portion of the soundtrack was inspired from Icelandic music, with many tracks featuring a variety of acoustic instrumentals that balance tranquility with sadness, but also does a great job connecting the environmental ambiance to the psychological state of our characters. Or, as director Shinichiro Watanabe puts it, a visual image of two boys standing in the ruins of a destroyed city. Zankyou no Terror is a show that'll hook you early with cinematic police chases, high-stake infiltrations, and explosions, but that's not really the point it's trying to get across. Where most mystery thrillers provide fantastical revelations of corrupt bureaucracies and competing factions, Zankyou no Terror instead places themes of disenfranchisement in its mystery, which encourages viewers to discover the show's most prized revelation, the empathy you develop with the characters. Regardless, Zankyou no Terror is not some rom-com or dating sim, and provides a lot of qualities that makes it an easy recommendation for those who enjoy nail-biting thrillers and detective mystery stories. However, it's the Icelandic-inspired soundtrack and tranquil animation aesthetic that sets the show apart from other mystery thrillers, while being a great exercise in empathy for the viewer. So, give Zankyou no Terror a go, as you'll be surprised how much you resonate with the circumstances of these characters, while not wanting to blow shit up.
Welcome home.